In today's film room feature, we're going to be breaking down right guard O'Cyrus Torrence, second round pick of the Buffalo Bills, and what he brings to the Bills offense in year one and a few years down the road. In this breakdown, we have run clips, we have pass clips, we have clinic clips from his offensive line coach at Florida and at Louisiana. So without further ado, let's jump right into the film. All right, let's get into some of the run game stuff, some of the technique, some of his skills and differences he makes in the run game. Again, he's at right guard at Florida, number 54, as I have outlined. And I love his processing on these combination blocks. They are working the combination block to the second level. As this guy shoots backside, he hangs heavy on the defensive lineman, and they create that vertical displacement for the run to go off the hip. Here's a game against Georgia. Similar thing. He can hang on this combination block because this defender stays backside, so they have no one to work to. Good processing, good read, and then look at the displacement that they create at the line of scrimmage. Here's another cut versus Georgia. Same thing. You see them work the combination block, and this one's a little different because you see the wide technique by this guy right here. He's watching the linebacker as that linebacker once again shoots backside. That means he can hang with his teammate on that defensive lineman and create that vertical displacement. You can see the drive catch technique by him. Makes contact and then watch each step creating that displacement and that power getting under the pads of that guy, and that running back is able to cut up inside. Here's another really good combo block and climb to the second level. So on the snap, he and the center are working the combination block. He's got to hold tight and bounce this guy over to the center once the ball snapped, but then read this linebacker right here who's coming into the box because of this wide receiver coming across the formation. So watch him hang on him as long as he can, but then as that linebacker comes downhill, he picks him up. But once again, on contact, look at him unfurl those hips and widen that hole for the running back. Just drives that linebacker out of the lane, and the running back is able to cut up inside for a decent run. Here he is again working on the backside of the run this time. Helps the center out, widens that lane, but then look at him peel and seal. Right there. Great work. That's working with your teammate, helping him out, creating that cutback lane. You know, a lot of the kudos will go to the running back for finding that cutback lane, but this decision to cut it back was made by these two guys right here, the center and the right guard Torrance, and they seal off the hole for the running back, make that decision really easy. He has very good technique when it comes to the run game. Here, he's supposed to work through the near armpit right there, and look where he puts his helmet, right in that near armpit. So he works that near armpit until this center can scoop around and overtake the block. So he does a great job of doing that, works the near armpit, and then once again, seals off that lane right there for the running back. And look where his eyes are. His eyes are looking to the next guy, the next pursuing linebacker. He tries getting a piece of this guy right here at the point of attack, but just great work at the point of attack by him and the center, just working their technique. 1-2, near armpit, seal it off. Nice gain by the running back. Here's another example of the near armpit technique. Guy's right over him. Look at him put his helmet and his hat placement right in that near armpit. Helps out that center, and they're just working that combination block to the next level. And you see him get a piece of the pursuing linebacker from the backside. So his run power is fantastic, but he's got really good technique. He may not be the fastest guy, but he does a great job of getting his feet down in the ground, staying grounded, working the technique when it comes to his hat placement, and helping seal off rushing lanes for his running backs. I want you to watch how he explodes on that second step. So this is what he saw. 1, 2, as that second foot's coming down, he needs to unfurl those hips and hands on the defensive lineman, and look at the displacement it causes and how he creates that lift on this defender right there. See him create that lift, take away all the leverage of power that guy has, and he's able to hold that guy down so that the running back can cut off his hip. Very good exhibition and display of creating that lift, getting under the pads of a defender so that the running back can get up inside. But you know what? Don't take my word for it. Listen to Robert Sale, his former offensive line coach at Florida and Louisiana, talk about this technique.
Let's talk about the explosion. Now that I've taken my 1-2 second step in the ground, I'm getting ready to get into the contact part of the block, okay? So we're going to work explosion. Got to have a base, got to go low to high, and I want to hit on the rise, right? Better job by this young man right here. The timing of his hands and his face is out of there. Second step in the ground, you can see here's my second step. So I'm actually taking the first part of the drill. All right, now bring it to the second part. Bam, bam, his cleats are in the ground. This step right here is not long. There's your second step. Get it down. Hat, hands, and hips, and now I'm rolling my hips. I'm trying to put my hips on that pad. Hat, hands, and hips. Bam. And lock it out.
Now we get to see more of that explosion phase, getting that second foot down, working low to high, creating that lift, and moving defenders out of the box with torque, with that rotational force. You see him as he gets his hands on this defender. Look at him rotate those hips and core and widen that guy out of the frame there for a nice run for his offense. I really love this clip from Louisiana. Watch him on that second step. 1-2, explode. Unfurl those hips. Look at the hand placement. Look at him create that displacement down the line of scrimmage. That guy wants no piece of Torrance on this play. He is just explosive in the short area, in that foam booth. Look at him create that torque and drive on that play. Here's another power play to widen a defensive lineman. You see him create that contact and that power. It's overwhelming for many defensive linemen in college. Now let's watch his hands on this play. Watch the grip and hand placement. Look at him create that displacement out wide. Control that defender. Look at the power in those hands to control that defensive lineman. Here's a cut from Florida versus Tennessee. Look at that torque that he creates. This is what he's going to bring to the Bills offense. Watch him low pads. Second step coming down, contact's made. Then look at him turn that defender, lean on him. He's so powerful. And he's able to generate power with his lower body, but also with his core, his hips, and his upper body too. Look at him torque this guy over, rotate that hip, allowing the running back to get inside. Here he helps the center as the center's climb into the linebacker. Uses more of his body and pad placement to widen that guy out so the running back can cut off him. Here's another one where he's just kind of using his body, his hands, and his length to widen that defender. Center's working the near shoulder, near armpit to the linebacker. So Torrance does a good job of creating that rushing lane for the running back, and the running back is able to take it to the house for a touchdown. Here's another game from his Florida tape. Gets a little help from the right tackle there to get that sled going. But as soon as that offensive lineman helps him, gets a little push going, watch the torque. Right there, you see him bring his hip through, turn that core. And he's able to torque that defender so that the running back can cut off that hip. Look at that rushing lane that he and the right tackle created. That defender is overwhelmed. Look where he started the play, and look where he ends the play. And that's a lot of that credit needs to go to Torrance. Here's another rep from his Louisiana film. Another one of those overwhelming plays. Look at him get into that defender. That defender is not able to anchor. And the running back's cutting outside. Now watch him flip those hips. Get his right glove right there on the shoulder pad of that defender. And seal that hole off. Now we get to see those heavy hands and powerful hands in the pass game as well. You can see the Tennessee defender's in a 2-point stance. And he's running speed to power here. But watch his pad level as the hands of Torrance hit him. Right here. Whoop. Lifts him. He creates that lift. Takes away all that momentum and power that defender just built up running out of a sprinter stance. locks him up, creates that lift, takes away all that power. And now this is too easy. Now he just got to anchor down. He does. And Richardson gets the ball out. I mean, this one's hilarious. This defender's coming downhill. And Torrance is so grounded and his base is so strong. As that defender's coming downhill at full speed, he just gets a little weak in the knees and hits the turf there because he hit Torrance at the line of scrimmage. And then you see the finish. Okay, he's down right there. He doesn't just move on to the next player. He finishes that guy, lands on top of him, and makes him feel that rep. We see that nastiness so often in the pass and the run game. You can see it right here from his Louisiana film. So here he is right here. Watch this. 22 is outside, and he's trying to side swipe that right tackle. You see a double-handed swipe, but Torrance is there to crush that guy. But it's not over there. No mercy. Look at him drive that defender into the turf and finish that play. That's the type of nastiness he's going to bring to Buffalo, and it's something that the Bills really need. They've been a spread team. They've been more of a finesse, athletic offensive line. When Torrance gets his opportunity, he's going to bring that nastiness to the offensive line. Here's another cut from his Louisiana film. You see that second-level defender coming downhill. Torrance picks him up, and then right there, throws him to the turf, and then finishes him. That's what you love to see from offensive linemen. You want that nastiness. And look, they're not done there. They're fighting. That's the type of nastiness he's going to bring. Here's another cut from his Louisiana film. He's uncovered right here. Works that defender. Does a great job of sealing that hole. But I want you to watch the end of this play. It's something that his coach at Florida always preaches. Chase the pile, finish. Right there, you see him drive that defender into the turf at the end of the play here. I love it. I love this type of demeanor. I love this play style. I think it's what the Bills need on offense. One of the main issues the Bills' offensive line dealt with last year was the inability to maintain a firm pocket. They struggled to anchor versus power, like you see here by Saffold against Harrison Phillips. Too often, the pocket was pushed into the lap of Josh Allen. Here's another one from Saffold. He's just not able to sit down and anchor and maintain that depth. Finish near the line of scrimmage so Josh can survey the entire field. He struggles here. Josh has to escape the pocket, as he did quite often last year. And we saw it from Bates from time to time as well. Here he has to slide inside versus Wilkins. Wilkins gives him the long arm and then just drives him back into Josh's face. And that's why Brandon Beane went out and kind of focused on getting offensive linemen that are firm in the pocket. They're able to maintain the depth of the pocket. Guys like Connor McGovern and Torrance are going to help in that department. They're going to be able to anchor down, whether it's near the line of scrimmage or recover and anchor down at the quarterback's spot in the pocket so that Josh can still survey the field, keep his eyes downfield, and make the throw. So now we're going to take a look at how Torrance goes about maintaining the depth of the pocket, maintaining the firmness of the pocket, not allowing the pocket to get pushed into the lap of his quarterback so that his quarterback can be poised in the pocket, keep his eyes downfield, and find the multitude of weapons that he has at his disposal. And that's what the Bills hope that they got in O'Cyrus Torrence at right guard. And we got to hear Brandon Beane talk about what Torrance brings to the Bills offense, but more importantly, how he anchors versus pass rushers and why that's important in the AFC East.
You know, it's size matters up in there when you're facing some of those guys, and you know we got some really good D tackles in this division, and so having a guy who can anchor versus power, you know, that's probably what he does best, and he's got length, to get on guys and hold them off. You're not going to see people running down his cylinder. I thought you saw, sometimes you go from a lower level to SEC, which is, as we know, probably the highest level, in college football, and it wasn't too big for him. And so I expect that same transition here. It's not going to be easy. He'll have to come in here and earn the role. We're not going to give him anything, but, size, strength, power, those would be, his top attributes.
First play is against Georgia. Watch how he anchors down here, uses a little hop move, and then plays on the soles of his feet, the insoles. Watch him sit, wide base, plays on the insoles of his feet right there, and anchors down. That pass rush is stymied. All that defender can do is jump up as the ball is being released. Great work at anchoring down versus a very good defender from Georgia. He's able to play on the insoles of his feet and stymie that rush. Sometimes when you're anchoring versus power, you just got to redirect that power, and that's what he does on this play. Watch him slide inside, redirect that power, and guide him to the left just far enough so that Richardson can deliver the throw to the wide receiver. I love this play. Watch him refit his hands, get his hands inside, get that double under move. It's a technique that offensive linemen use to anchor down. Right there, works his hands inside, refits, drops those hips, plays on the insoles of his feet. You can see it right here. Anchors down, and he's able to keep that pass rusher out wide. Look at the pocket that the quarterback has here. Great job of locking that guy down so the pass can be delivered. This one's hilarious. So watch this rusher out wide right here. He's going to loop inside, and Torrance sees it coming from a mile away. Look at him anchor right there. Absorb that speed to power. Barely even is affected by that rush from that defender. A guy who built up steam and transferred that power to Torrance, but Torrance was barely affected by that pass rush. Here you're going to see him anchor with his body. Sometimes you use hands, sometimes it's your feet, sometimes your body, and that's one thing that he's able to do because of how thick and strong he is. He's anchoring with his body here. You can see that defender gets his hands inside, and he's got the leverage, but Torrance is able to still win this rep because he can use his body, put his body in between the pass rusher and the quarterback, and play on the insoles of his feet and use his body to anchor down so the quarterback can throw the ball. This might be the best one of them all. So this is against Coastal Carolina, Jared Clark, who was in this draft, and this is like a 330-pound defensive tackle. Watch him slide inside, very much like that Bates rep. Slide inside and anchor down versus that pass rusher. Again, sometimes you're going to anchor down at the line of scrimmage, near the line of scrimmage. Sometimes you need to anchor closer to the QB spot. That type of recovery is needed. Even if you lose early, you can recover and anchor late. Look at that. Double under. Look at the hips. Look at the knees. Look how he's playing on the insoles of his feet. Quarterback is able to deliver that ball down the field. Incredible anchor recovery and anchor strength from Torrance on this play against Jared Clark. Here's another one of those plays where you're going to have to recover. You may lose initially. You're going to see him slide inside, but this rusher slants into the gap, so he's got to recover, and this is where his length comes in hand here. See him right there. Get a punch out and widen that guy just a little bit, but then he stays with it, gets back in position to anchor down. Look how he creates that wall right there for the quarterback. Quarterback gave him a little time by sliding his left, but Torrance is able to recover and create that pocket in the second phase of this play. On to the areas of opportunity, some of the inconsistencies in his game. I'm going to start off with his second level ability. He's very good in the phone booth, but when he is asked to get out in space to that second level, his game is inconsistent. His ability to lock on is inconsistent. This defender uses his athleticism to shoot the back door and get a hit on the running back, but the running back broke that tackle. But you can see he didn't get much help from Torrance on that play. Similar thing here, backside of the run. He's not able to lock on and drive that smaller defender. That defender disengages, uses his feet and athleticism to avoid that block and make the tackle on the running back. Just a little inconsistent. It's an area that he can be a lot better at. And this one, you see him do a great job of eating that defender up, gets his hands on him near the line of scrimmage. That guy was coming down to make a play. It's a little easier for him, so he's able to lock on and ride that guy wide so that the running back can cut off of him. Here he does just enough on the backside of this run at the second level. Watch how he climbs the second level, gets a piece of that guy. Here's the cutback lane for the running back. Does just enough. Again, just a little inconsistent. he can do it. He's just got to work on his angles and his ability to use his length and ability to lock on so that he can get a piece of these guys. Here's one where the running back is able to break it for a big play. And I like him on this play. I like what he does. This guy runs out of the frame. This guy loops over the top. Great job of processing that. And he's going to climb to that level and just get a piece of that guy, shove him wide, create that rushing lane, and that running back is able to take it to the house for the touchdown. So just need to see him get a little bit better in that area, getting to the second level, taking good angles to that second level, and getting a piece of that defender so that the running back can cut off of him and get these big plays. Another area where he needs to get better is as a puller, and that's why I'm not too keen on him as a puller. Here he just completely whiffs on that defender, and that defender is able to make the tackle. Here's another rep of a similar pull from his Louisiana film. He is tasked with logging this guy. This guy is spilling it, so he needs to log him inside, kick him inside. He's not able to do it here, and that defender just blows this play up. So that's definitely the area I think when it comes to the run game he needs to get better at, is his ability in space when he pulls or when he's climbing to the second level. When it comes to the pass protection, I think guys are going to challenge him laterally. They're going to challenge his feet. They're going to work from one side to the other, start outside, spike inside, those type of things, challenge his lateral agility. And that's why I asked him this question at the Senior Bowl. I asked him, hey, how did guys attack you on a week-to-week basis? And this was his answer. On a weekly basis, what would you say how you were attacked most often each week?
I feel like a lot of teams like to attack my edges. Okay. Try to open up my hips and get me off my feet to hurry up and go to counter move. I didn't too much get taken down the middle because of my size, I'm guessing. But a lot of times I get taken on the edges and like worked on. It made me have to work on staying square more and keeping my hips on the defender's hips so I don't ever get turned open and give up pressure.
I hope you enjoyed that in-depth breakdown on O'Cyrus Torrence, a guard who should challenge right guard Ryan Bates for starting reps this season. He's a long, powerful offensive lineman, a guy that works with great hand leverage. His ability to create torque and widen rushing and passing lanes for his quarterback will be an asset to Josh Allen. He's a driver and finisher, brings that nasty demeanor that the Bills' offense has been missing over the last few years. But his biggest asset is his ability to anchor early in the play or late in the play so that Josh Allen will be able to keep his eyes downfield to get the ball to his playmakers. If you like that breakdown, please take a moment to smash that like button, leave us a comment in the comment section, and at the very least, subscribe to the Cover One YouTube channel. I am Eric Turner, host of The Film Room, owner of Cover One. Make sure to join us every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. to break down film in the film room. So until then, go Bills.